If identity security is something you've been thinking about, we have in the studio somebody who's been in the region for 18 plus years only in the cybersecurity space, and today is the regional sales manager at CyberArk.
Identity is a new perimeter. It is time to secure it.
So indeed, identity is a new perimeter, but I want to know more about this AI as identity. Cora AI. Can you let me know how is this beneficial for an enterprise?
If there had been an anomalous attack, with the help of Cora AI, we are in a much more safer environment to kill that attack at the first place. Cora AI can also predict the vulnerabilities, the weak areas which needs to be strengthened.
Among the multiple distributors that you have, what is one thing which makes your relationship with Spire Solutions exceptional?
Well, Spire has been one of the oldest distributors in UAE, in Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, entire Middle East. In fact, I would say we have been together as a partners to secure the entire identity perimeter for all the Middle Eastern customers.
Hello and welcome to Spire Connect, powered by Spire Solutions. If identity security is something you've been thinking about, we have in the studio somebody who's been in the region for 18 plus years only in the cybersecurity space, and today is the regional sales manager at CyberArk. Yes, the same CyberArk which has been in the news for all the reasons that you're already aware of. So right now, let's ask from him, Shailesh, what is special about CyberArk's presence at GITEX this year?
Thank you, Pankaj, for inviting me. Truly appreciate that. GITEX. Well, I have been in UAE from last 18 years, and GITEX is 5 days of a year, which I'm always looking forward to. GITEX has always been special. Anyone who is connected in the technology industry, and me being here from past 18 years, being part of cybersecurity ecosystem, it gives me huge pleasure to be a part of this exhibition year on year. This year, CyberArk is participating with Spire Solutions, and CyberArk has constantly evolved as an identity security platform year on year. I remember my first GITEX with CyberArk, with Spire Solutions, 4 years back. I was fairly new, and we were primarily known as a privileged access management vendor.
True.
And now, 3 years later, actually 4 years later, we have evolved further with a complete identity security suite. Because identity security is not just about securing your privileged users. It is about securing all your privileged, non-privileged, human, non-human, and not to mention AI identities now. So CyberArk is here along with Spire Solutions to further emphasize and resonate the message: identity is a new perimeter. It is time to secure it.
So indeed, identity is a new perimeter, but I want to know more about this AI as identity.
Yes.
Tell me more about this.
Absolutely. So it reminds me of 10, 12 years back when cloud was the new thing, and there were cloud applications, cloud workloads which were getting rolled out. Naturally, the inclusion of cloud in our daily lives allowed organizations to make their business more agile. It was a chain or a wave of digital transformation, and organizations simply embrace them. With UAE's initiative, as we have seen recently, Sam Altman has been here in UAE, and he has further invested, and there is conversations going on with His Excellency as well as with Sam Altman to make UAE as one of the most AI advanced countries. Now, when you have AI as a part of your ecosystem, yes, it absolutely makes your life agile, easy, but at the same time, it also brings a whole set of challenges. Just like how it basically appeared 15 years back when cloud made our life easier, but it had further expanded the attack surface. So with AI, it is in a form of an identity. It is a part of a machine identity. And that's exactly where CyberArk feels it is a prime responsibility of an identity security vendor like ours to ensure that we give you the right coverage to secure those AI identities.
You mentioned about privilege access management, which is what the primary identity for CyberArk was for the longest time. Then we had people talking about least privilege access management.
Yes.
Then we spoke about AI identities today. Where did this transition begin from?
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's an interesting question. So yes, initially when CyberArk founded in 1999, at that time securing your privileged user was a luxury. People used to basically maintain those credentials on an Excel sheet or a sticky notes to ensure to rotate those credentials of our crown jewels. However, as time evolved, organizations started to realize that is not the most safest method. It is important that you secure your privileged user who basically have access to crown jewels. So this is where the evolvement of CyberArk as a privileged access management vendor came in. And as we moved into this transition, slowly and gradually, as CyberArk evolved, the whole landscape equally continued to evolve as well. Now we have every business user as a privileged user in a certain circumstances. They have access to certain cloud applications. They have access to certain AI applications. They have access to database at times, because the name of the game in today's day is agility, digital transformation. You cannot continue to have a very segregated roles where you have a lot of differentiation and islands of security. So hence, for the businesses to go agile, they have to give privileges to business users who are not traditionally known as a privileged user. So this is where the least privilege concept came in. That's exactly when CyberArk further evolved and started introducing least privilege concept, which does resonate a lot on a zero trust concept or a assume breach concept. So where it continues to ensure that there is a right authorization and authentication and continuous authentication to ensure the right identities are logging in with the right set of privilege controls to the right applications. Yeah, I can continue on the AI part. With the involvement of AI, it has certainly made life easier. Operationally, it is much easier now to just enter a command to get your entire reports. It is much convenient to roll out policies and configurations accordingly. However, it also does bring a certain challenges. So from CyberArk perspective, we look AI from three different angles. AI as a defender, which CyberArk has its own Cora AI, which is infused with the entire identity security fabric of CyberArk. AI as an attacker. We have seen immense sophistication in AI attacks. When you talk about phishing emails, when you talk about any other attacks, video spoofing, the the level of sophistication has gone leaps and bounds ahead. And then AI itself can be made vulnerable, because at the end of the day, AI is nothing but a machine which is typically acting on human instructions. It is a technology which can do a large scale of work which is practically not possible for human at a much more fraction of a time. But it is something which can be made vulnerable. So this is where we need to ensure that we put the right guardrails around AI identities to ensure that we continue to get the right set of results from AI with the right privilege and security ecosystem around it.
You mentioned a very interesting word over there called Cora AI. Can you let me know more information about how is this beneficial for an enterprise?
Yes. Cora AI was introduced by CyberArk, if I'm not mistaken, last year. By the end of last year, Cora AI was rolled out. It is currently available in a local data center which is hosted within UAE. Cora AI makes your life far more easier. Now, when you talk about investments, heavy investment, when you talk about in regards to rolling out your PAM solution, rolling out your identity solution, there have been these have been very painstakingly lethargic or rather complicated processes to stitch your identity into the right fabric of organization.
Yeah.
It is not easy, and especially for the enterprise based organizations, multiple business units, multiple stakeholders, different set of complications when it comes to data. It is not easy, and the time to value is much more difficult to basically to forecast. This is where CyberArk's Cora AI comes into the picture. CyberArk Cora AI is infused along with the entire unified identity security portfolio of CyberArk. It basically helps in terms of understanding the user behavior, the contextual analysis, at the same time, with the help of the entire information gathered during the discovery and visibility phase, it offers suggestions in regards to the policies, configurations, the right security practices, the right reporting structure, the right reports which you need to extract. Because at the end of the day, you need to have a right information available with you to make data-driven decisions. And with help of CyberArk Cora AI, along with all the operational efficiency and ease it brings into the equation, it also offers you intrusion, identity detection response. So if there had been a anomalous attack or rather a rogue behavior, with the help of Cora AI, we are in a much more safer environment to mitigate, to react, to kill that attack at the first place. Instead of being more reactive, Cora AI can also predict the vulnerabilities, can also identify the weak areas which needs to be strengthened. So this is where the help of CyberArk Cora AI, we can further enhance the security aspect of the organization, further so we make it more sophisticated identity security, plus ensuring business continuity and continuing the journey of digital transformation.
Very insightful, and I'm sure Cora is going to change the way cyber defenders are looking at identities today. Now, CyberArk has been acquired by a leading cybersecurity company.
Yes.
Has this slowed down the pace of development at CyberArk?
Actually, no. In fact, we are growing at quite a decent speed, and with the existing acquisition, it is under process, and more information is available on our CyberArk in website. But from a technology perspective, CyberArk is already developing further technology to secure your AI agents. Agentic AI is something which is currently a talk of a town. Organizations are adopting AIs. They are they are evolving on an AI front. The adoption of AI had happened at a much more faster pace than it was imagined. But at the end of the day, these agentic AIs, these AI tools, has its own vulnerability, and this is where exactly where CyberArk's involvement and the future roadmap of securing these AI agents is something which we had been working quite decisively from past few months already, even before this acquisition had happened, because CyberArk's core strength is to basically be a visionary. If you look at it, the CyberArk's growth scale, we have always been a visionary with a strong research and development team and a strong foundation in management with the right support. We are someone who are not afraid to take one step forward to ensure that we give customers, partners, the consumers the right security tool to ensure and secure their identities. So yes, irrespective of the acquisition, CyberArk has always been one step ahead in securing the identities.
Very well put. And the pace at which CyberArk is growing right now, I believe the future is only bright for CyberArk moving forward. Now, you mentioned about the ecosystem of CyberArk, which includes the partners, the customers, and the distributors as well. Among the multiple distributors that you have, what is one thing which makes your relationship with Spire Solutions exceptional?
Excellent. Well, Spire has been one of the oldest distributors. When CyberArk started its journey here, Spire was the second distributor which we had, and Spire has certainly helped CyberArk to grow in this region. Along with the growth of Spire Solutions, CyberArk has been instrumental to ensure that we are taking this message of securing your privileged identities, your workforce users, your cloud applications, your workload identities, everything to all the customers, consumers, prospects, partners in the entire Middle East. So Spire has been very instrumental for us in this journey. Spire's ability to ensure that they are offering the right skill sets, the right support, the right investment in the local territories with the global touch, with the local flavor, has been an exceptional partnership. And we are thankful to Spire for being a part of this journey, which continues to grow. It isn't stopping here, it is going to grow further leaps and bounds. And with the help of the right support from Sanjeev Walia and from the CyberArk partnership, we are continuing to take large strides in UAE, in Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, entire Middle East. In fact, I would say we have been together as a partners to secure the entire identity perimeter for all the Middle Eastern customers.
Very well put, actually. Now I have a question, and you have to clarify whether it is a myth or a fact.
Sure.
CyberArk is a very difficult solution to deploy.
It's a myth. CyberArk is the most comprehensive solution. CyberArk gives you the complete security of scalability, as well as to ensure that it gives you the right context around the entire infrastructure. We are not appliance based, we are software based. Now we also have our SaaS model, which is easy to deploy and easy to use, consume, and faster time to value, right? So CyberArk, I would say, is one of the most complete solution and not a complex solution. It is complex for the attackers to breach into it, but it is easier for the consumers who are using it to defend those attacks.
Another myth or fact question, actually. CyberArk doesn't train customers or partners.
It's a myth. CyberArk actually does have one of the most comprehensive training universities. In fact, that is available on our public portal, public website, CyberArk, training.cyberark.com. It is a CyberArk university. It is available publicly on the website where users can self-educate themselves, self-train themselves. Should they want an instructor-led training, CyberArk does have a jumpstart packages or training packages which can allow the customers to ensure unlimited training, unlimited exam attempts to be a CyberArk certified technology partner or a CyberArk certified customer. CyberArk technology is something which we take it very seriously, and we ensure that our ecosystem of partners or customers are well trained and well educated to consume that, to use it to its best of its ability. So CyberArk does have these facilities already available for public to consume it, and it is also important that we continue to spread this message. So yeah, it's a myth that trains customers are not trained.
And my last myth or fact question, CyberArk is only for banks or BFSI and complicated environments, not for SMBs.
Well, it's again a myth, I would say. I'm sorry I'm saying all that myth, but but that's exactly is a myth. In Middle East itself, we have 220 plus customers. This 220 plus customers comprises of different verticals: federal governments, oil and gas, BFSI, manufacturing, retail, technology partners. If I would say, from the user base perspective, consisting of 10 privileged users or 500 or less than 500 employees to more than 50,000 employees. So CyberArk is there for everyone. We do ensure that we are making a conscious effort to ensure that, be it a small customer, a medium, or an enterprise large customer, identity is a challenge for everyone. When an attacker comes in, he will not look at the size of an organization. He will come in with a single soul mentality to breach and to create a havoc. But it is equally important as us, as a guardians of identity, to ensure that we are there to protect every size of an organization. So yes, it is available, it is applicable for all spectrum of customers, and we are here to support them.
So the moment you said guardians of, I was like, identity or galaxy, which way are we moving?
Guardians
right
of
now?
identity.
And so let's say if you have to explain these guardians of identity to a 10-year-old child, how
Yes.
would you explain?
Well, fantastic. I will try and explain this to my son. I hope I'll do a better job, but he does ask me this question: Papa, what do you do? What does your company do? So, in a very simple fact, the day and age which we live in, it is important that we preserve the identity. We are someone who is basically having our unique name, persona, unique fingerprint, unique eyesight, and it is important that we continue to secure those perimeters. Sooner or later, the passwords are not going to be the way of identification. Your biometrics, your different layers will be used to identify yourself. So it is important that we as an organization are giving you the right technology platform for you to secure those people, because these are going to be the future passwords. These are going to be the future authentication methods. So if those are compromised, unfortunately, your organization will be breached. And I was reading a very interesting quote in Gartner's last report. Organizations are not getting breached anymore. Hackers are not breaching you anymore. They are logging in. That's because they have managed to hijack your identity. So it is important that you continue to preserve and secure that identity by giving the right security system around it, by ensuring to not to share your passwords, by doing basics sometimes correctly. Don't share your passwords, don't share your confidential information, don't share your OTPs, don't share anything which is personal to you. And this is where you, as a 10-year-old or as a 50-year-old CEO of an organization, has to continue to secure the crown jewels of the organization.
Shailesh, you have seen life from a partner to a distributor to a vendor at multiple ages,
Yes.
right? Which part did you enjoy the most in your journey?
Actually, I'm thankful for all the aspects of life, because I would say there is no one aspect which did not teach me enough. Did work in all the three spectrums, and with all the three spectrums taught me something about the work what I do, about the people I meet, and about the responsibility I'm carrying. Be it any spectrum of life, Pankaj, because learning should never stop. I continue to enjoy every present, even when I was with the previous distributor or a partner or wherever, even as a father, even as a RSM or a guardian of identity. It is important that you enjoy that, because it's important to live in a present, right? And it's a blessing. It's a blessing that we have been entrusted with such large responsibility, because cybersecurity is so essential now in today's day and age. Organizations are moving at a breakneck speed. There's a digital transformation. 15, 20 years back, I could have never thought of placing an order through my mobile app, but now I can do that. I can give my clothes for laundry, or be it ordering an Uber. But that has happened because of cybersecurity, because of this whole scale at which we are moving. So, be it any role of life, it's important that we value it. And I am genuinely thankful to the Almighty for giving me this responsibility, for trusting me that I can be the right person to carry this message. And I would love to continue as long as I can.
And with this, we conclude our today's insightful discussion with Shailesh Bhatia, RSM at CyberArk. And what he genuinely meant was AI hallucinates, CyberArk fixes things. And with Spire, we always connect to the conversations that matter. Thank you.